Jeez, this head sculpt. Hey, what's up, you guys? Artemis Prime here, doing another SH MonsterArts figure review on the SH MonsterArts Godzilla 2014 movie figure from Tamashii Nation's Bandai. If you're trying to get this figure, you can get it big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below. Always like how SH MonsterArts has these slashes going on in the packaging over here. I always think that's really cool. The monsters scratching boxes, scratching the box. I like it. And you get legendary pictures right over there. It says 2014 Godzilla. And you get a picture of the figure right there. And then a bunch of promo pictures on the back. Anyway, let's get to it and crack this thing open. So here's Godzilla out of the packaging, and this figure is awesome. I don't really know if it is my favorite 2014 Godzilla, but it definitely is way up there. Superposable, detailed out like crazy. The sculpting on this is just amazing. I love the paintwork. It's not too crazy, but I think the paintwork is perfect. I really like it a lot. Now, this guy does not come with any accessories, which is a little bit of a shock for me, but at the same time, I'm happy with the Godzilla itself. Now, this is an expensive Godzilla. You're looking at a $68 figure over here, or you could get the $18 NECA Godzilla. That's just about the same size, but I mean, I think from even over here, you could see the quality difference. I mean, the sculpting on this is just way more detailed out than this one over here. I still think you get a lot for your money on the NECA figure, but if you're a collector connoisseur or an action figure collector connoisseur and you want the 2014 Godzilla in this kind of scale, then you gotta get this one right over here. It is amazing. I don't know. There's just something funny about having his eyes facing forward like that, but I still think it looks great. I really like the paint that they added at the end of his nose over there. It looks like he has some red, and then they have some red right there in the teeth as well. The tongue looks like it's got a lot of detail in it and everything too, and especially like on the sides of the mouth right there where the jaw connects to the face. That looks great. So we get a lot of paint apps right here on just the face. I think the eyes look pretty impressive as well. You know, they're facing forward. They look good. Got the nice yellow inside there as it should have. And seeing him jaw closed like that, it's just a really nice head sculpt. Don't necessarily remember him having a lot of red on his teeth, you know, but oh well, it's cool. I guess there would be red from him biting the mutos. Now, I want to take a look at the spines on this figure, and they are detailed out like crazy, man. Like if you want to compare the spines of the NECA figure compared to this figure over here, look at that. So much more detail in each of the spines than looking back at the NECA one. So yeah, you can see there's a reason for the major price difference on these two figures. But looking at the rest of the spines over here and all the scales and everything, it's just quite remarkable. Same thing with the tail too. And one thing to keep in mind is that the spines on the figure are very, very sharp too. Sometimes some of the limbs pop out. You just want to be careful the way you put these back in, because you could stab yourself with the figure, or you could possibly break something. I don't know. The plastic seems like it's pretty firm though. Look at that paint on his back too. That looks really nice as well. It's very subtle, but he has some kind of like this olive green color going on right here on the black, mixed in with a lot of this gray. You can see some of that on the arm, and then in the section right here under his neck and everything. Look at that. That's painted very, very well. You can see his gills right there on his neck. That came out looking really good. I like the paint variation and sculpt right there on the chest. That is awesome. Oh man, the attention to detail from these guys is just insane. Even the hands and fingernails look great too. And look at that. That is just beautiful. I'm geeking out over here. Now, one thing about this figure that is quite unique compared to the other Godzilla 2014 figures that I've seen is that this one actually has sculpted crotch pits. Yeah, look at that. I think there are moments where he does have quite a bit of those stances, so yeah, it's quite useful. And looking at the underside of the tail over here, this is sick. Yeah. So overall, I mean, the paint on this is a lot more matted compared to other Godzilla figures, but still, I think it looks really cool. Gets a lot of subtle paint. It feels like there's a little bit of purple splashed on here too. So there's a lot of subtleties in the paint. And we're looking at these Godzilla toes down over here. This is really well done too. I think they did a great job with this. This knee joint right here, they have this separate piece right in there that is just made so that, you know, you don't see any joints. I think that's great. And the bottom of his feet actually have a little bit of sculpted detail in there too. And I love the articulation on this figure. First off, his jaw opens and closes. You have to make sure it's lined up because it does have that side to side thing going on. So be careful with that. Now his head can look up. I love that. I've been wanting a Godzilla 2014 figure that has a head that can look up, and look at that. Ah, that is awesome. So you can get him screaming upward, especially because the mutos are flying around and stuff. You can eat that, so that's pretty awesome. You can move his neck all the way down too. And you have these pieces around here that you could shift around to kind of hide some of the exposed joints joints or whatever, so that's great. You can rotate his head side to side, so you can get that kind of movement going like that, and you can pivot it around too, so you can get it twisting side to side. You get these ball jointed shoulders right over here that move outward. You can rotate them forward, and you can rotate them up here too. He has double jointed elbows that bend in that far. I think that's great. You can rotate at the forearm as well, rotate at the wrist, but you get some movement over here. It's not too bad. You get this upper diaphragm joint right over here, which is great. I love what they've done here where they have these smaller spikes right here actually sink into this larger spike, and that allows for the torso to move upwards, and I think that is fantastic. And the figure can pivot at that diaphragm joint as well, but not really rotate side to side too much. He does have a waist joint right here, which is better for the side to side movement. So they have that covered over there. And then the hips can move all the way outward, which is great, exposing those beautiful crotch pits. I love those. And he can kick forward quite a bit as well and move backwards. He has double jointed knee. He can rotate at the knee over here too. He has a rotation right here, the middle of his shin. He can rotate side to side out of his ankle, move down and up at the foot, and he does have beautiful ankle pivot. And then the tail right here is so articulated. It has 22 points of articulation coming all the way through here. It is quite awesome, man. I really like this, and there goes a little piece, but you can just pop it right back on there. It makes a little clicky sound. And as you can see, this Godzilla stands just under 7 inches tall. Here's our SH MonsterArts 2014 Godzilla compared to the NECA 7-inch tall Godzilla. So you can see they're just at about the same height. So here's our 2014 Godzilla compared to the first release Godzilla figure and the Millennium Godzilla, and they all stand at around the same height. And per the request of my wife, the lovely Charlita1 wanted to see the 2014 Godzilla compared to the King Kong, and they don't really fit into scale together. Make sure you check out Charlita1's Instagram, link in the description below. And here he is next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. I had to add the atomic breath from the first release Godzilla over here. It's looking badass. I really like this figure a lot. I highly recommend it if you're looking to spend that kind of money on this kind of figure over here. If not, then you may want to look at one of the cheaper figures. But for me, it's between this one and the 24-inch nose to tail Godzilla from NECA, which are my two favorite 2014 Godzilla figures, and they're both about the same price. So I have both of them. I'm happy. It's up to you to decide which ones you like the most. You know what I mean? But anyway, I hope you guys liked my video. If you did, please hit the like button. Don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe, and check out ToyNewsEye.com for the latest in action figure news. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Gave it a spark. Welcome to Articulated Comic Book Art.
That's crispy.
They even sculpted. Whoa.